Hi, welcome to the session. So in this particular session, we are going to see identifiers and comments in Python. Okay, let us start with the session. So what are identifiers? Identifiers are name used to identify a variable, function or other entities. Say for example, we have certain variables here. What exactly name we need to give? That's an identifier. So there are certain rules and regulation we need to follow in order to qualify as an identifier. Say for example, we have used three variables. These are all valid identifiers. If you don't follow the rules, it will say error. Who will say? Python will say error. So quantity equal to 42. So quantity, it can be small q or capital Q, no issue, fine. So that is a valid identifier. It is starting with a letter, no issue with this. There is no blank space in this, no issue in this. Price underscore M, okay. That is this is also a valid identifier. Then we have underscore total name. This means what valid name we are giving, valid name, variable name we are giving. So it can start with underscore, no issue with this. Now in between, like or at the end, we can have digits, no issue with this. But it should not start with a digit. Say for example, this is an invalid identifier. Which one? To sum. This is an invalid identifier. So because it is starting with a digit. Now this is also a invalid because it contains blank space in between, full space name. So this is a invalid identifier. Similarly, you cannot have special character anywhere in the variable. So that is also a error. So invalid identifier. So we cannot use the reserve word also. Say reserve words like if statement, for loop. This we'll see later. There are certain words are there that is reserved for the Python. We cannot use that one. So that reserve words we cannot use. So we cannot use as a variable name. So there are certain words are there. Okay, that we cannot use. That we'll see later. Okay. Comments are used to add a remark or note in the source code. Say for example, you want to write in an English language what exactly this particular code is doing, what exactly this particular variable is doing, what is the variable names we have used, what are the variables, certain details we want to write in an English language so that our Python should not execute those statements. Okay. So later, like when we open after some time, we should be able to understand what exactly the code is. So if you have a description written, okay, actually it's a description we are writing, what exactly it is doing or what is the use of this particular code, something like that. So let's say you want to add the description, how we will write that? By using comment. So what are the comments here? Let us say for example, we have single line comment and double line comment. So you can see the hash, any line starts with the hash, the Python will not treat it as a source code. It will treat as a comment. It will not execute this particular line at all. Okay. Now we have three single quotes are there. Okay. Then we are ending with the three single quotes. This is a multi-line comment. Suppose you want to have a multiple lines as a description. Okay. Three, four statements you want to have. You are writing the description about the code or the note you want to, or you are adding a remark for that particular code. You can write that one as a comment by saying what? Three single quotes and ending with the three single quotes. So whatever is there in these three single quotes will not be executed at all. Okay. You can have three single quotes or three double quotes. Okay. We will see that later. Now we are in Spider. So let us open a new file. Okay. New file. Before that, let me close the console. So we should have a fresh console and remove these things, whatever we have. Now let us write a code, okay, to add two numbers. Okay. Then we will add comments to that. So let us say A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, then C is equal to A plus B. Fine. Then I will say here, C, I will use capital here. Okay. Then I will say here print sum is equal to, then I will write here sum. Okay. Not sum. What is the sum? Sum, it is in C, variable C. So let me write C here. Okay. So if I use sum, what happened? So it is saying error. Why? Because earlier I have not given a value. So before using this one in print statement, it should be there. So it is not there. That's why it will say error. So let me go back and change to C. Okay. Now it is okay. Let me run this one. Let me run, and you can see sum is 30. Now another time if I run this one, again same 30. Now in order to change this one, I need to say here, let us say 30. Now let me run this one and I will get sum as 50. Now basically it's adding two numbers. Fine. Now let me write the comment for that. Now comment, I am writing single line comment. This particular this code adds two numbers. Okay, two numbers. Now I have written a single line comment. Fine. Now I want to write multiple line comments. How I can able to write multiple line comments? Let me use three single quotes. Then let me end with the three single quotes. Fine. Now there is no error. In between I can write whatever I want. So let us say this program or this particular code has three variables. Okay, three variables. Okay, then I can write variables. What are the variables we are using? A, B, then I have C. Okay, now I need to use capital letters A, comma B, comma C. So these are the three variables. Okay, sum will be displayed. Sum will be displayed. Will be displayed by adding A and B. Something like this, by adding A and B. Something like this particular thing. Now what happens? See this particular, see the program clarity. When I open this particular code next time, I can easily read what exactly the code is doing, right? And this particular comment will not be executed. Now let me run this one and demonstrate. Now you can see sum is 50. There is no error for this particular comments. Why there is no error? Because I said with hash. Okay, anything the hash single line comment you want to give, you can use hash here. Fine. Multiple line comments should have must have three single quotes or three double quotes, and yet it should end also with three double quotes, three single quotes here. Fine. Now this is a comment, nothing but a description or a note we are writing in the code, so that when we open next time for the program clarity, or some other programmer is opening this particular code, he should able to understand easily. So that's why we have this particular comments, the note. Okay, now we have a code over here. For this particular code, I have written comments. Fine. This will not be executed by the computer. Say for example, I can write here hash addition, adding A and B and storing in C. Fine. So this is a comment. So what is this particular? This will not be executed. Let me run this and demonstrate, and you can see sum is 50 only. Okay, there is no error given for this particular thing because I started with a hash. I can give like this also. I can say here, again I can say here assigning 30 to A, something like this. So what exactly I'm doing? I'm adding the comments so that it will be easy for us to understand this particular code.